chilling surveillance video of college freshmen pledging a fraternity. That's Danny in the green blindfold. And this is Danny today, unable to walk, talk, or see.
I've always felt some type of way about people in fraternities. Like there's just something very dark and uninviting about this disingenuous group of quote-unquote brotherhood. I have a very strong belief that fraternities are one of the worst things, if not the worst, to ever happen to a college institution. And yes, I would put them above 8 a.m. classes, messy organizations, and of course, counselors that know nothing about academic counseling. But all the frat bros that are already fuming with less than a minute and a half into the video,
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
all jokes aside though, I would like to make a fair statement before we dive into the video that not all fraternities are necessarily negative, but you and I both know that enough of them are. Not only do they have a peculiar ability to bring the worst out of a college student, but it seems like aspiring to be a part of the group might just be the end of you. Like literally, you could actually die. Just like I was until a couple of years ago, there are a lot of people that are familiar with fraternities, but aren't really sure why they exist. And I'm sure everybody has a personal definition of what they think a fraternity is today. But for those who have always wondered what the true purpose of a fraternity is or why it's such an important part of college culture, the standard definition of a college fraternity is a social organization for male students that is based on shared values like brotherhood, service, and academic excellence. And that ironically happens to be the funniest definition to me or any other college students that really understand how these fraternities work. Because I happen to think that it's an excuse just for people to party all 4 years of their college career. It also happens to be an excellent organization inclined in creating a climate that helps you rack up an abysmal amount of bodies by the time you graduate. But the prevalent culture of fraternities on college campuses can actually be explained by its historical significance, as we can date the earliest founding of a fraternity back to the year of 1776. With earlier fraternities actually being known to have honorary and academic standards, the whole foundation behind their creation is said to be inspired by other powerful and prestigious fraternal organizations like the Freemasons, which included some of our greatest historical figures like Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Winston Churchill, and even Franklin Roosevelt. But as time has clearly passed, you can see the drastic change between what was historically prestigious and how it has now become a modern joke on being part of what now makes you the biggest piece of shit in college. But if you somehow made it through that historical yap session, here's where it gets really interesting. Joining a fraternity, ironically, isn't as simple as one would think. It could be a rather lengthy and confusing process, so in order for you to understand it, I personally imagine the process to be similar to like an NFL or NBA combine, only for frats. The first step for recruiting new frat members is known as rushing, and this typically takes place on the college's designated rush week. These fraternities host events for new potential frat members to join, whether it be in a form of a party or something as small as a game night. It's really just an opportunity for people who want to join to connect with each other and also connect with other existing frat members to see what kind of frats they want to join. And then from there, if you have a specific fraternity that you wanted to join, both the formal and informal interviews take place as part of the process. Say your interview goes well and they end up liking you, you receive an invitation from your respective fraternity, and this is also known as a bid. It's also really important to mention that with the bid comes financial disclosures that people will have to pay in order to become part of the fraternity. These fees, also known as dues, are to be paid by new frat members to maintain their membership, and each member's dues pretty much cover the upkeep of the fraternity. Things like housing, food, clothing, and events hosted are going to be covered by the frat members. Mind you, this also excludes the initiation fee or other fees that you might have to pay up front. So even at the very average level, you should understand that being a frat member costs thousands of dollars. And that's where we typically see a lot of the criticisms about fraternities, which I find to be completely reasonable because there's just something hilariously pathetic about the concept of you having to pay for friends. Because why the f are you coming out of pocket to pay for friends as a college student? Except your parents are extremely affluent or you're just getting to the money like that, it makes absolutely no sense to be a part of this. And please note that you having money and still choosing to spend your money on this doesn't make you any less lame. But I don't know, if your family has been part of this fraternity for the past 100 years and it's just a family heritage thing, especially if your parents are paying for it, go off, bro. Who am I to judge? But I guess it's just funny that through personal experience or things that I've seen in general, these frat members try to justify how much money they've wasted by talking about the connections they've made and the genuine friendships through brotherhood that they were able to foster along the way through these fraternities. Like, bro, are you stupid? Aren't you in college? Isn't that already a predetermined location for you to foster great relationships with people anyways? Like, I'm sure you can make great connections with people that would serve you better in the future and actually have genuine friendships that help you be a better person for free. Like paying to be a part of some exclusive brotherhood group that's supposed to help you connect better with people and perhaps help you with a better college experience is just a redundant waste of money. I I'd even move to argue that these fraternities hurt you more than they're supposed to help you, even though we know that they offer no kind of actual help. But I really argue that they really hurt you because of what you actually have to go through in order to finally join this fraternities. See, once a bid is accepted and one is finally a pledge to a certain fraternity, they have to go through a final stage of what are known as hazing rituals, which of course are distinctive to each fraternity. Now, hazing is the imposition of strenuous, often humiliating tasks as part of a program of rigorous physical training and initiation. And I think that's kind of generous, bro, judging from what you're about to see. And yes, bro, these hazing rituals can kill you.
A wily man was arrested in Louisiana, charged with the death of a fraternity pledge during a hazing ritual. Now, according to Baton Rouge police, Caleb McCrae was one of 3 men who, while wearing boxing gloves, punched pledges in the chest multiple times. Caleb Wilson, a member of Southern University's marching band, collapsed, had a seizure, and ultimately died.
Detectives have interviewed over a dozen people and executed multiple search warrants to gather as much information as possible. Caleb Wilson died as a direct result of a hazing incident where he was punched in the chest multiple times while pledging to Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
As a guy in my 20s, one of my biggest fears is dying a meaningless death. There's something about dying for no reason that really scares me. It's just like other people are gonna come to my funeral and be like, damn, bro really went outside. And there are just some things in my life that I've compiled that I would rather not have happen. But I'm not gonna lie, bro, losing your life over a hazing incident because you try to join a frat has to be the saddest way to go out. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a point to victim blame or anything, because this is obviously not the victim's fault. If any victims who had lost their lives to a hazing incident had the foresight to avoid this, they probably wouldn't associate themselves with any types of fraternities in the first place. It should be a completely unanimous opinion that nobody should have to give up their lives to be part of an organization in college. And I have 2 major inquiries about this, and they're how and why. How are you so brain dead that you could come up with something as stupid as punching someone repeatedly in the chest as hard as you can till they literally have a seizure in front of you? And what is your reason behind this? Like, what's your rationale? What are you trying to create, a bunch of super soldiers in secret? And I feel as though it's even worse when you realize that hazing incidents that result in tragic events like this are not completely uncommon. For example, the tragic hazing incident that happened to Danny Santulli didn't necessarily result in his demise. However, it did change the trajectory of his life forever.
Chilling surveillance video of college freshmen pledging a fraternity. They're being marched downstairs. Look what happened to Danny Santulli. That's Danny in the green blindfold. And this is Danny today, unable to walk, talk, or see.
The guy was forced to drink a full bottle of vodka before the night was over. And if you know anything about vodka, you know that vodka is 100% proof. Vodka will have you up. And even surveillance evidence shows that even after he had collapsed, they kind of just set him on a couch somewhere and they didn't tend to him for hours. And even while trying to get him to the hospital, they then proceeded to drop his head on the floor. Like, that's definitely a hard pass for me. I don't know about you. And I'm not necessarily trying to kill the dreams of those who aspire to be part of a fraternity. Like, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and break a leg. I wish you the best. But if you got to go through lengthy interviews for it, pay for it, and then get humiliated for it, and possibly risking your life for it, only to be a part of an organization that offers pretty much everything that every other organization offers in college, well, not everything. You do try desperately to make everything about yourself and your fraternity when you bust down that fraternity dance in front of everybody at a college event, and we all have to act like we give a f when we don't.
The Q train is coming, and I don't want to be left behind. They say I'm the few are chosen. They say
Yeah, keep this away from the rest of us. This is so lame, you couldn't even pay me to do it. But hey, if you want to tear up them shoes in front of the whole college campus to represent your frat, as long as you're happy, bro, you got it. However, I ultimately feel as though fraternities are overrated. They're dangerous. What trying to join one of these fraternities puts you through makes you feel like you're joining a watered down cult. And they're just a terrible, terrible way to waste your money because it does you way more bad than it does good. Anyways, please like the video if you enjoyed. I'd be happy to hear your comments about this down below. I know I've kind of been slacking on dropping on time, but that's because midterms are killing me. But I definitely got more videos on the way. Please be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.